today is a momentous day. The car is now ready for the dyno. I'll just say a few things that I've done. I've replaced the starter motor down there. I've actually given it a cover as well, which is a good idea because obviously it's live 12 volts. I crimped the connection as well to that, so that's good. And then in the back, I did have quite a dodgy earth setup, but now I've got this proper earth going to the body, and then again another cover over the 12 volts as well. And the car is going to go to the dyno today. So as you can see, the car just starts and runs. Cleaned up a little bit of the wiring, not massively, but I've got the wideband lambda in here. And it just starts and it drives. But the thing about it is it's still running a bit rich. So I'll show you what. Starts and drives and everything, it just needs to get mapped. I'm going to just map it on this ECU. This isn't the Honda, this is just the chipped P28 ECU. So I'm just going to get a proper map on there and then hopefully get an MOT. And then the other things from the MOT are the rust, which still is to be done. So I'm going to get a quote on that. If you come down here, you see that. Oh, sorry. If you see on that, you've got a finger in there.
We start again.
It's alright, just carry on.
Okay.
So you can see the rust. There's a lot of rust if you go down the back. None of it's looking that clever. And also there's meant to be a fair amount of rust in a wheel arch as well. I've got look at the other sill. And you've also got this bodywork damage from Andy.
How did that happen?
Is that Alton Park?
I think it's Cadwell Park.
Cadwell. Andy span it into a barrier, not just touched it.
It was just kissing a barrier.
Just kissed it.
Just kissed it. But it was a strong kiss.
That's when we had the D16 still in it.
Yeah.
So it needs some bodywork doing, and that's going to be probably our next focus. Other than that, for the MOT, which is like the vehicle health check, we're just going to need to point the lights up, because I think they're shooting down the floor a bit too much, but that's really the least of our worries, so that needs to happen at some point. But then we'll hopefully get an MOT on it, and we can drive the thing, and that's the plan. So stay tuned for more videos, and I'll try and get something of the dyno place, but I'm not sure I'll be able to do that. Last video was of me saying about how the Civic was going to go to the dyno of tuning up. There's been a bit of a change of plan with that because the wiring wasn't correct, and that's why I had the car running so badly and overfueling. It's on some kind of get me home mode, and that's why it wasn't revving the full rev range either. The good news is that I've got a solution which I'll tell you about. But either way, I've actually moved house, and the house comes with a double garage, and that's where the Civic is now. So you can see I've got double garage and all this crap everywhere, but the car's all nice in there. It's not massive, but it's got all my stuff, and it's going to make doing work on the car and making videos that much easier. I'm not having to go to those rented garages anymore, so that's cool. So how am I going to resolve the issue? Well, let me tell you about the issue first. So I was trying to run the Rye-Wire OBD0 to OBD1 conversion harness, so that's in the footwell of the car. Issue being that basically you can't do that. well, you can do that, but you can't do that when you've just got a multi-point fuel injection D16 loom running in your chassis. You actually need the VTEC loom and then convert the VTEC loom. Otherwise you have issues with double feeds and just all the wiring doesn't match up, so it won't work, basically. Well, it will work, but it's going to be a lot more work than my solution, which is going to be involving this. So this car is the MB6 Civic VTI Aerodeck with the 1.8 B18C4 engine, which is the same as the one as I've got in my Civic there. So yeah, you can see VTEC double overhead camshaft. So I'll show you inside the car as well. It's complete interior, all the rest of it. I'll show you the engine. So the engine itself. Anyway, yeah, no engine and gearbox, but it does have the full wiring loom. So basically I have a standard B18 C4 engine loom, and I'm going to grab the whole wiring loom, the whole show. So I'm going to take all the interior out of this bad boy. I'm going to rip everything out, all the wiring, and I'm going to shove it in there. And then when I've done that, the whole thing will run, because it will just think it's in the other car. So that's the path of least resistance. That's what I should have done previously anyway, really thinking about it. The whole car is done. The Civic is done in terms of mechanically. You know, its gearbox is sorted now, limb slip differential. All the mechanics are done with the car. I was toying with the idea of take the engine out of this, shove it straight into this, and then just, I don't know, get it running on the road and all that, but I'm just thinking it's just too much effort. It doesn't really give me any reason to do it. So I'm going to just take the wiring out of the this one, chuck it in this one, and then hopefully the whole car will run properly. There are a few things to think about with that. So there are you know, issues such as the fuel gauge, the indicator stalks and all that stuff working, where the hazard switch is. You know, there's bits and bobs. There's just the fact there's a lot more wiring in that car. You know, it came with central locking and it's got more doors and all the rest of it. But this car had a shuttle loom in before. You know, the EF shuttle had that loom in. It has it in there now. So, you know, a bit of extra wire and a few extra things I don't need. It's fine, whatever. I'll just cut that all out later. But for now, I just want to kind of take all the wiring out of the Civic and chuck it in the EF, and then just hopefully it works. Oh, another big one is the clocks. So of course, the clocks in there now are the nice old school looking ones. You know, these, I think they might even be from a CRX. Whereas the ones in here are, you know, not going to fit right. I'm less bothered about that. Just get it running first and worry about cosmetic stuff like that later. So there's the plan, and join me on this adventure of ripping this lovely car apart.